Coming to you live from the MLB Youth Academy here in the city of Compton. As the Academy Barons are just about ready for their second home game of the 2025 season. It's an opening weekend here in the CCL. The Barons enter this afternoon's game with a 1-1 record on the season and will face one of the better programs here in the league in the Santa Barbara Foresters. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. It's a cloudy and overcast Sunday afternoon, but the sun is peeking through here in Southern California. The Barons are coming off their first loss of the season, dropping last night's game 8-1 in Pasadena to the Arroyo Seco Saints. In case you missed it on Friday, the Barons picked up their first win of the season in walk-off fashion, thanks to J.J. Nielsen's RBI single in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's the final game for the Barons in this opening weekend. Tomorrow's a day off, as they hope to cap off this weekend with their second victory of the season. Let's go ahead and introduce you to both teams. Visiting Santa Barbara Foresters are in the first base dugout and will be rocking their maroon jerseys with the gray bottoms. They're led by 27th-year head coach Bill Pintard, who has led this program to 10 NBC World Series National Championships since 2006. Also joining Pintard on the coaching staff are assistants Brian Aguilar, pitching coach Ryan Kramer, and associate head coach Steve Shuck. They entered today's game 2-0 on the season and picked up a dominant 14-5 victory over the Conejo Oaks last night. Over on the third base side are your Academy Barons. The Barons are led by head coach Kenny Landro, who is a native of Compton himself, played 11 years in the major leagues, and went to Dominguez High School right down the street up the 710 highway. Also on the Baron staff are assistants James Bishop, Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, and pitching coach AJ Monterez. The Barons are 1-1 on the young season, losing their first game last night to the Saints 8-1. They won 6-5 in Friday night's game over the San Diego Bombers. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. The umpires are making their way to the home plate. As we go ahead and get you the starting lineups for both these teams, starting with the visiting Santa Barbara Foresters. Batting leadoff is the center fielder Maddox Mandino. Over in the 2 spot, it's left fielder Sawyer Farr. Batting third and playing third base is Easton Mumah. Caleb Hoover will play first base and bat in the cleanup spot. In the 5 spot, it's Breton Clark, the right fielder. Batting 6 is Easton Ruley, the shortstop. In the 7th spot, it's Brady Dallimore, the DH. Catcher Vincent Gambardella will bat 8th, and rounding out the lineup for the visiting Foresters is second baseman Liam Keithley. That's the starting lineup we'll see in the top of the first for the visiting Foresters. On the mound for the Barons that we'll see is Braden Wellen. He's a right-hander. Played this past season at Golden West College. 6'3", 200 pounds, just finished his sophomore season. And we'll tell you a little bit more about Braden Wellen when we come back from a commercial break. Before we do go to break, we'll get you that starting defensive alignment for your Academy Barons. In the outfield from left to right, Antonio Lujan, Hunter Backstrom, and Jacob Klanowski in the outfield. In the infield, from third base to first, J.J. Nielsen at third. Over at short, DJ Akiyama. At second, Nathaniel Williams. And first base is Jason Del Villar. Behind home plate, it's Isaac Ocampo, the young catcher from Golden West College. We mentioned on the mound, Braden Wellen. So that's your starting defense and your starting lineups for the visiting Foresters. We're moments away from the first pitch. We'll cut to a commercial break for the national anthem. Also very excited to share that we'll have a couple interviews for you throughout the broadcast as well. So don't go anywhere, folks. First pitch when we come back after this break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, my name is Noah Alvarez. Game number 3, walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning. They defeated the San Diego Bombers 6-5. Yesterday, they hit the road for the first time on the season and fell to the Arroyo Seco Saints in Pasadena. They lost by a score of 8-1. That was the final score in last night's contest. But again, my name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Let's go ahead and go over those starting lineups once again for both these teams, starting with the visiting Foresters. Batting leadoff is center fielder Maddox Mandino. Sawyer Farr will play left field and bat second. In the 3 spot, it's third baseman Easton Mumah. Caleb Hoover will bat cleanup and play first base. Brenton Clark, the right fielder, will bat fifth. In the 6th spot, it's Easton Ruley, the shortstop. Batting 7th, doing the DH duties, is Brady Dallimore. Batting 8th is catcher Vincent Gambardella. And in the 9th spot is second baseman Liam Keithy. That's the starting lineup for the visiting Foresters, who we'll see in the top of the 1st. On the mound for the Barons, starting this game is Braden Wellen. He's a right-hander, just finished his sophomore season. Standing at 6'3" from Golden West College. We'll get you more of those stats throughout the broadcast in his last year with the Golden West Rustlers. And the defense behind him. Isaac Ocampo's behind home plate. J.J. Nielsen's at third. DJ Akiyama's at short. Nathaniel Williams playing second. And over at first base, it's Jason Del Villar. In the outfield, Antonio Lujan's playing left field. Hunter Backstrom is manning center. And over in right field, it's Jacob Klinowski. That's your starting defensive alignment for the for your host, Academy Barons, here on this Sunday afternoon. First pitch a bit behind schedule. Currently 1:09. First pitch was scheduled at 1:05. Excited to be here, broadcasting you today's action. Braden Wellen, we mentioned 6'3", originally committed to Aliso Niguel High School, or was playing at Aliso Niguel High School when he initially committed to University of San Francisco coming out. He has a quick chat with Isaac Ocampo, his catcher, and just about ready for the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 1st. Maddox Mandino wears number 1, hits from the left side. We're just about ready for baseball. The overcast clouds have cleared up. Sun in the sky. Not too hot, as it's a 68-degree day currently in the city of Compton. And the first pitch is in for strike 1. Slaps this one, foul just past the third baseman. It's going to stay fair. Gets all the way into the corner. Lujan has to dig it out. The runner's digging for third. Here's the throw to the cutoff man. No play for Akiyama. So on the second pitch of the game, Mandino slaps a triple. Leadoff triple here. Runner 90 feet away for the visiting Foresters. We mentioned they're 2-0 on the young season, led by 27th-year head coach Bill Pintard. It looks like they're going to send the runner back to second base. Looked like the ball got stuck in the left field corner. Pintard has a short conversation with the home plate umpire, but apparently there was the ball getting trapped down in the corner, which is why Lujan had trouble getting to it quickly. So they limit to the runner to just a double. Still a runner in scoring position for the Foresters in the top of the 1st inning. And steps the switch hitting Sawyer Farr. Runner takes off for third base. Ocampo can't grab it. It squeezes out of his glove. So stolen base for Mandino. He's aboard at third base. Runner 90 feet away for the Foresters. Farr just played his freshman season at Texas A&M. This skips past Ocampo's knee pad, and scoring the first run of the game on a wild pitch is Mandino. An early 1-0 lead here for the Foresters. Wellen and Ocampo both played this last season for Golden West College. This one's over. 89 miles per hour on the radar gun. 1-0 is the score. Advantage Foresters. Top of the first. Nobody out. Farr slaps this foul into the netting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Farr is a switch hitter. Playing left field, wears number 5. Foresters in their maroon uniforms. Academy Barons in their blue. Wellen's breaking ball misses upstairs. Runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The batter on deck is Easton Mumah, the third baseman. Offers and fouls this back out of play. Count remains full. Farr steps back into the batter's box. Wellen gets the sign from Ocampo. Here's the pitch. 3-2, foul tips this one into the glove. Farr is retired. First strikeout of the outing. Out number 1 here for the Academy Barons in the top of the first. Currently trailing 1-0. A leadoff double by Maddox Mandino. He stole third and on a wild pitch came in to score. Farr set down via the strikeout, and Easton Mumah comes to the plate. Where's number 23? Hits from the left side. He got jammed there. A play for Akiyama at short. Flings it over to first in time. Quickly 2 outs. Now it's Caleb Hoover getting his first at-bat of the afternoon. Hoover also hitting from the left side. 4 of their first 5 batters in the lineup are all lefties. Another one switch hitter, so 5 of the first batters will hit from the left side against Wellen. First pitch strike over to Hoover on the breaking ball. Hoover's from Heath, Texas. Played at Grayson County College. Foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Wellen back on the rubber, gets the sign from Ocampo. Has an 0-2 count on the cleanup hitter. Nobody on base. Fastball misses up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hoover hit .339 this past season for Grayson College. The 1-2 from Wellen's off Ocampo's chest plate. Count remains the same at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hoover hit for power this past season. 16 home runs in the spring. 49 RBI, 7 doubles. Slugging percentage of .839. And that's in 41 games for Grayson College baseball team. Community college out in Texas. Wellen with the 1-2. Had the right idea with the breaking ball, but it misses the zone. Batter on deck is right fielder Brenton Clark. Infield regular depth all around. Wellen from the windup. Here's the 2-2. Another foul ball off to the left side this time. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not really a breeze here this afternoon. Typically see a breeze here in the evenings in Southern California, but with the day game here on this Sunday afternoon, breeze shouldn't play a factor for the players. Sun might play a factor for the outfielders on fly balls and pop-ups. He smacks this onto the ground. A big candy hop for Akiyama over to first in time, and that's out number 3. So Wellen gives off the leadoff double. The run does come around to score. Foresters do have a 1-0 lead, but Wellen settles in and records the next 3 batters for an out here in the top of the first. My name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Bottom of the first inning, let's go ahead and get you that starting lineup for the Academy Barons once more. Batting first and playing second is Nathaniel Williams. Antonio Lujan in the 2 spot, playing left field. Gavin Taylor will do the DH duties and bat third. In the cleanup spot, Jacob Klanowski, the right fielder. Playing first base and batting fifth is Jason Del Villar. Hunter Backstrom will man center field and bat sixth. In the 7th spot, it's J.J. Nielsen, the hero from Friday night's game. He's playing third base defensively. Isaac Ocampo is behind the plate and batting 8th. And rounding out the order is DJ Akiyama, the shortstop. They'll face a big right-hander. And when I say big, he's tall. Standing at 6'8" from the island, or from Hawaii Islands, a town called Kahului. It's a right-hander by the name of Kaimi Kahalikai. Kahalikai played this past season as a freshman for Long Beach State. Made 16 appearances, started 3 games, threw 34 1/3 of an inning. Picked up 2 saves as well. Finished with a record of 0-6. His ERA was at 8.65. He did have 30 strikeouts in those 34 innings. But you could see him warming up on your screen. A very tall presence, standing at 6'8". Again, from Kahului, Hawaii. Kahului. I'm going to get that down by the end of this outing. Final warm-up pitches for Kahalikai, and we'll go ahead and get you the starting defense around him. Behind home plate, it's Vincent Gambardella. Over at first base, Caleb Hoover. At second, Liam Keithy. Playing shortstop, it's Easton Ruley and Easton Mumaz at third base. In the outfield from left to right, Sawyer Farr in left, Maddox Mandino in center, and Brenton Clark rounds out the defense playing right field. Williams, the switch hitter, will get his first at-bat of the afternoon. First pitch in for strike 1. This one down and in, had some sharp break on that one, and Williams swings over the top of it. No balls and 2 strikes. Williams just finished his freshman season at Santa Ana College. Few members of the Dons roster here on the Academy Barons this summer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kahalikai played this past season for Long Beach State. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Big chopper over to Hoover at first base. He comes up empty. It stays fair. Williams thought about going for second, but takes the churn and goes back to first. Infield single. For Nathaniel Williams, he's aboard at first base. Pretty good speed. We'll see if he decides to test the catcher, and Kahalikai on the mound. Catches the outer part of the zone. Good framework by the catcher Gambardella. Strike to Antonio Lujan. Lujan just finished his freshman year at Azusa Pacific. Played in the outfield. One ball and 1 strike. Lujan hit a solo home run back in the Friday night victory that tied things up at 4 apiece. It was a back and forth game. The Barons led most of it. The Bombers took their first lead 4-3, but thanks to Lujan, it was 4-4 heading into the 8th. Slaps this one foul to the left. It was one of those home runs you knew right off the bat. Drilled into deep right field, into the parking lot, staff parking lot over there. Hopefully none of our cars got plunked by that one. Williams at first base. Hoover is holding him. Jumping out to a big lead, draws a throw over. It's back in safely. He's being very active over there at first base, trying to mess with the timing of Kahilikai. Right back up the middle. A plant chance for the shortstop. He flips it to second for one. Hoover makes the pick at first. It's a double play. (6-4-3) for 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first, a real momentum killer. Easton Ruley, ranging to his left, made the flip to his second baseman, Liam Keithley. Just like that, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Barons have their leadoff base runner, wipes away. Breaking pitch away from the right-handed hitter, Gavin Taylor, misses outside. Taylor's the brother of Colin Taylor. Both played at LA Valley College this past season. In the zone for strike 1. Both Gavin and Colin are from Tarzana. They went to Birmingham High School in the San Fernando Valley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gavin initially committed to BYU his freshman or season. Spent a year there, played 5 games for the Cougars. Down in a 1-2 count. He watches this one skip in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. (2-2) misses upstairs. Easy take for Gavin Taylor, the DH. Batter on deck is Jacob Konofsky. This past season for LA Valley, he played in 38 games, hit .358, 6 home runs, 9 doubles, drove in 34 runs. Here's the payoff pitch and off speed. Taylor misses that one, and that's out number 3 here. A strikeout. First strikeout of the outing for Kaini Kahalikai. So after 1 complete inning, the Foresters have an early 1-0 lead. They're one of the stronger programs here in the California Collegiate League. We transition to the top of the second. Due up for the Foresters, 5-6-7 when we come back. Top of the second inning, Brenton Clark will lead things off here for the visiting Foresters. Playing right field, hitting in the 5 spot. Wellen on the mound. First pitch, backhand for Akiyama. Strong throw over to first. 6-3 for out number 1. Wellen used 18 pitches to get out of the first inning. The Foresters did get a run thanks to a leadoff double by Maddox Mandino. He scored on a wild pitch that got away from Isaac Ocampo, the catcher. In steps the shortstop, Easton Ruley, first right-handed hitter we're seeing. All 5 of the first hitters in the Foresters lineup hit from the left side. One of those a switch hitter in Sawyer Farr. Down and inside to the shortstop. Two 2-0 the count after 2 straight misses here by Wellen. Ruley's from Newberry Park, however, played at Arizona, or Central Arizona College, community college in the neighboring state. 3 straight misses here to the number 6 hitter. Brady Dallimore is the DH, and he's in the on-deck circle. 1 out in the top of the second. Foresters lead 1-0. Wellen on the mound, the sophomore from Golden West College. Recently committed to University of San Francisco on May 24th. 4-pitch walk to Ruley. He's aboard at first base. Had 22 stolen bases this past spring at Central Arizona, so the Barons will have to keep a close eye on him. In steps Brady Dallimore. Wellen on the rubber, working from the stretch, already a big lead for Ruley. Jason Delviar holding him at first base. Wellen delivers a pitch outside. 5 straight misses here by the right-hander. Dallimore stands at 6'4", listed as a catcher, but doing the DH duties here for the Foresters today, and head coach Bill Pentard. It gets away from Ocampo. He throws down to second, but not going to be in time to get Ruley. A great jump. He was working with a big lead, so an easy advancement there. Seven straight misses now to these last 2 hitters by Wellen. Ocampo keeps this one in front, so the runner stays at second. The 3-0 finds the zone. First strike in quite some time for Wellen. 3-1 the count to the DH. Dallimore is committed to Texas Christian University. Just finished his senior season in high school for Palo Verde. Also in the zone, Dallimore leaned out of the way thinking it was going to hit him. Some break from the right-hander's release. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Runner on second is Ruley. Batter on deck is Gambardella. Runner takes off for third. Ocampo throws over to third base, but on the foul side of the line, so no chance for Nielsen to tag the runner out. A walk and a stolen base for the Foresters. Runners at the corners now. 1 out in the inning. Gambardella, the catcher. Runners at the corners here. Let's see what the Foresters do. Gambardella swings and misses, but it bounces away from Ocampo. Both runners advance. The second run of the game comes in for Santa Barbara. Another wild pitch allowed by Isaac Ocampo. 2-0 is the score. One ball and one strike. Gambardella, originally from Santa Barbara, played for Santa Barbara Community College before transferring to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV. Akiyama holding the shortstop, holding the runner at shortstop. Just misses the zone there. 2-1 the count. Gambardella went 1 for 12 this past season as a junior for UNLV. 2-1 the count. Turns to 3-1 after 2 straight misses by Wellen. The 9-hitter Liam Keithley is on deck. Then we turn it back to the top of the order. Wellen struggling here in the second. 2-0 is the score, and he misses on 4 straight, issuing a free pass to Gambardella. Runners on first and second. Pitching coach A.J. Monterez gonna call time. Good time to remind you, if you're a fan here listening for one of the players on the Academy Barons, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be streaming all the home games live from the Academy here on the campus of Compton College. We recommend you make it out to a game this summer season, but if you can't, you can always tune in to the live stream. I'll be here for most of the season, broadcasting the games to you live and calling the action. We'll have some player interviews for you this season as well. That was one thing we did at the very end of last season with the broadcasting class, but we do have different equipment now, and we can get some player interviews. We had J.J. Nolan on the broadcast on Friday. Today we plan on having Tommy Goodin in the top of the third and then Amari Yolas in the top of the fifth. So a couple player interviews this season in the summer. First afternoon game of the season. Looks like there's a left-hander getting warm for the Barons in the bullpen after the mound visit. Runners on first and second. There's one out. We'll see how Wellen bounces back to the 9-hitter Keithley. On the ground, Akiyama dives to his right, but it skips up his glove. Lujan comes in firing. The throw to Nielsen is cut off. Coming to score from second is Dallimore. 3-0 is the score. Advantage Foresters. First RBI of the game for the Foresters. The other 2 runs came on a wild pitch. Back to the top of the order. Maddox Mandino showed good speed in the first inning on his double. Could have been a triple, but they ruled it a ground rule double as the ball got wedged in the left field corner. Upstairs for ball 1. Gambardella's the runner at second. Keithley the runner at first. 1 out. A pitch misses inside. Three straight misses here from Wellen. 3-0 the count. Long pause. The 3-0 misses outside. Mandino takes the stroll over to first base. A man at every base here for the Foresters.
To the Foresters, number 5, Sawyer 5.
Barons pitching staff were hoping to get a longer outing from Braden Wellen here on the mound. In the first game of the season, it was pitcher Frankie Lopez who went 4 innings for the Barons. Last night, Joel Tornero went 3 innings as a starter. Top of the second, 2 runs have already come in. 3-0 is the score. First pitch, swing and miss to Sawyer Farr. Gambardella moves to third base. Keithley moves to second. Mandino's at first. Strike 2. Wellen made 13 appearances, only started 1 game for the Rustlers this past season. In 15 innings, he posted an ERA of 0.60. Very dominant this season for the Rustlers in the OEC. Had 22 strikeouts in those 15 innings pitched. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. On the ground to the right side, and it goes foul. Farr steps back in. Wellen ready for the 1-2 pitch from the windup. Breaking ball misses upstairs. He hasn't been able to locate that for a strike in his outing thus far. Farr struck out swinging in his first at-bat. 2-2 doesn't threaten the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is the third baseman, Easton Mumau. One out, bases loaded, force at any base for the Barons. On the ground, through the 3-4 hole into right field. 1 run will score. Here's the throw from Klanowski. A second run touches home plate. Two RBI single for Sawyer Farr makes it a 5-0 game, and that's going to be the end for Braden Wellen's outing. So Kenny Landro makes his way to the mound. We'll have a new pitcher to tell you about. So the new pitcher will wear number 20. It's a left-hander by the name of Jeremiah Enix. We'll tell you a little bit more about Enix as we come back from this commercial break. Back on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. 5-0, the Barons trail here in the top of the second. We're going to see our first pitching change for head coach Kenny Landreau and the Academy Barons coaching staff. In comes the left-hander by the name of Jeremiah Enix. He wears number 20. He's a native of Anchorage, Alaska. Stands at 6'2", weighs 195 pounds. Went to Coppin State and finished his junior season this past year. Before that, he spent 2 seasons for the College of the Desert Roadrunners over in Palm Desert, California. So has bounced around a little bit here in the States. Coppin State over in Baltimore, Maryland, in case you're wondering. So from Alaska to Palm Desert, California to Baltimore, Maryland, back here for summer ball in the city of Compton. Top of the second. First pitch from Enix to Muma. Misses. So Wellen only lasts an inning and a third. He throws 45 pitches. We'll get you the rest of his line. He's responsible for both runners on the base paths. Runners on first and third. Farr is at first base. Mandino is at third. 1-1 after that one finds the zone. Wellen picked up the first out of the inning on a weak ground out over to Akiyama at short, but ran into some trouble, issuing 3 straight walks, then a single by Liam Keithley, walked Mandino, and then gave up an RBI single to Farr. Runner takes off for second. It's a high throw. Ocampo can't glove it. Another run comes across for the Foresters. 6-0 is the score. Runner on second base. Now is Farr. Just below the knees on that pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Good spot to miss, but Muma lays off. And Kenny Landreau goes with the left-hander with 2 straight lefties following in the order. 3 straight lefties, correction. Muma, Hoover, and then Clark. Muma hits this one on the ground to Akiyama. He thought about going to third, instead throws it to first. Two outs in the inning. Runner does advance 90 feet. And Caleb Huber look to cash in on that run. 6-0 is the score in the top of the second. Foresters got 1 run in the first, 5 and counting here in the second. 2 outs. First pitch from Enix on the ground to Williams at second. He fields it cleanly, tosses it over to first in time for out number 3. So Enix comes and does a job, limits the damage. 5 runs do come across, though, for the Foresters, extending their lead 6-0 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. We're going to the bottom of the second, a chance for the Barons to respond before things get away from them quickly. My name is Noah Alvarez. When we come back, we'll have the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, 6-0 is the score, as you could see on your scoreboard in the top left of your screen. Shout out to Game Live for the scoreboard that we can have up on for you. Second inning of work for the starter, Kaimi Kahalikai. Big 6'8" from the islands of Hawaii. First pitch misses outside to Klinovsky. Klinovsky's due up along with Jason Delviar and Hunter Backstrom. Klinovsky offers. Big hop over the first baseman, Hoover, and it gets into right field. That's what you call a ground ball with eyes, seeking the outfield. Gets past the first baseman. Looked like a pretty routine play, but just hopped right over his glove. Delviar now steps in. He's the first baseman in today's contest. Long break for Kahalikai. Usually an advantage for the other team, the hitting team, as the pitcher had to wait. But he does work with a big cushion. 6-0 is the score. First pitch strike to Delviar. Delviar played this last season at Sonoma State. If you remember, Sonoma State was in the news this January after announcing they're canceling all their athletic programs, all 11 of them, to try and make up for a $24 million budget deficit. No balls and 2 strikes to Delviar. A native of Corona. Went to Corona Centennial High School. Pokes this one into center field. Back-to-back singles to open up the bottom of the second for the Barons. They need some life here after giving up 5 runs in the top of the second. Klinovsky moves to second base. Delviar is over at first. In steps Hunter Backstrom. Backstrom just finished his freshman year at West LA College. This one misses inside. Hunter's older brother, Makai, used to play for the Academy Barons as well. Grew up in the system. Was drafted in the 18th round by the Atlanta Braves, now playing in the Frontier League for the Sussex County Miners. On the ground over to second base, a chance for the Foresters to turn 2. Backstrom has too much speed and beats the throw. So a fielder's choice. 1 out. Runners at the corners. In steps J.J. Nielsen, the talented freshman from the University of Hawaii. However, he's in the portal looking for a new home. He came up big in Friday night's victory, delivering the RBI single that allowed the Barons to walk off over the San Diego Bombers. A native of Cerritos, went to Long Beach Jordan High School, which is down the street, right off the 91. Smacks this one on the ground to the third baseman. A chance for 2 after the recovery. However, Nielsen beats out the throw. They do get the second out of the inning, 5-4. Nice job by Easton Mumma at the hot corner to even just get an out on that one as he tried to backhand it. It was a screamer off the bat of Nielsen. Nielsen's at first base. 1 run has cashed in. 6-1 is the score. Barons trailing by 5. Pitch finds the zone for a strike to Ocampo. Freshman from Golden West College. Nielsen small lead at first base. Ocampo pulls this one foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Remember, in the top of the third, we'll have an interview with Tommy Goodin. And in the top of the 5th, we'll be joined by Amari Yolas. Kahalikai back onto the rubber. Ocampo down 0-2. Lays off this one outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ken Klonowski reached base thanks to that hop that the grounder took over to Hoover at first base. That allowed him to reach base, and he scored from third on the RBI ground out, a fielder's choice for Nielsen. He's aboard at first base right now. Another breaking ball down and away. Ocampo showing good discipline. In the top of the 5th inning, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Foresters. Brenton Clark, Easton Ruley, and Brady Dallimore. 3 due up. Ocampo has to duck out of the way. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is DJ Akiyama, the 9-hitter. 2 outs. Expect Nielsen to be moving on the pitch. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Ocampo at the plate. Runner takes off. Ocampo sends this foul to the right side. That was pitch number 30 on the outing already for Kahalikai. So far, he's outdueled Braden Wellen, who was pulled in the top of the 2nd, finishing the game, only recording 4 outs before getting pulled. Jeremiah Enix was the man to record the final 2 outs. We'll see if he comes back out for the top of the 3rd inning. No one holding the runner at first. He takes off, and he can hold up. As he jogs into second, Ocampo will make his way to first after the walk. Chance for the Barons to do some damage with 2 outs. They already got 1 in the inning. 6-1 is the score. Akiyama. Switch hitting shortstop. Another player well-traveled here on the roster for the Barons. Played this past season for Campbell University over in North Carolina. Junior season, played at the University of Hawaii. Missed most of that season due to an injury. Then played at Hartnell Junior College in Salinas during the 2023 season. Smacks this one foul. No balls and 2 strikes. He's a native of Aiea, Hawaii. In his very first year in college, he went to St. Martin's University in Lacey, Washington. Nielsen at second, Ocampo at first. Drifts outside for ball 2. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Kahalikai only threw 14 pitches in the first inning. Barons making him work here in the 2nd. This is pitch number 21, past the diving third baseman. Nielsen gets the wave around third. Ocampo is going to be held up at second base. 6-2 is the score. An RBI single for Akiyama. So the Barons respond well here in the bottom of the 2nd, cutting that deficit, trailing by 4. In steps the leadoff hitter, Nathaniel Williams. He had the leadoff single in the bottom of the 1st. However, Lujan grounded into a double play. Fastball outside for ball 1. Ken Kahalikai had a long break in the top of the 2nd. Sometimes you question how a pitcher responds after that long pause. He does work with a relatively big lead. He slaps this one foul. It's going to stay fair by a matter of inches. Williams picks up an RBI. Going to third is Akiyama. An RBI double for Williams, making it 6-3. So plenty of offense here in today's contest. Yesterday's game, or Friday's game, ended 6-5, but the Barons needed 10 innings to get that 6th run. However, it's already a 6-3 game. Foresters do lead. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. There's going to be a mound visit between the pitching coach. I want to make sure I get his first name correctly. Ryan Kramer. I almost said Dean Kramer, but Ryan Kramer, the pitching coach here on the Santa Barbara Foresters coaching staff. Again, Bill Pintard, the head coach, Brian Aguilar, and Joey Holguin, the assistant coaches. Mound visit over. Barons are out hitting the Foresters thus far. 5 hits to the Foresters 3. However, the Foresters have had a lot of free passes, and they've been able to cash in on the runs. Lujan now steps into the batter's box after the mound visit. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch to Lujan misses outside. Lujan is what you call a legacy player at Azusa Pacific. His dad, Mike, played over at Azusa Pacific in the 88 and 89 seasons. And it looks like Kahalikai balked there as he went through his motion. He tripped maybe on a pile of dirt. Akiyama scores from third base. 6-4 now. Barons trail by 2. Moving over to third base is Nathaniel Williams. You don't see that too often. And just lost his footing with his front foot, his left. Stands at 6'8", has a long stride. Maybe the nerves getting to him here in the bottom of the second. Lujan fouls this off to the left side. A lot of things breaking the Barons' way here in this bottom of the second. They still trail by 2. A runner 90 feet away. Lujan watches this one miss outside. 2-1 the count. Batter on deck is Gavin Taylor. This is the 8th man to reach. The Foresters sent 9 men to the plate in the second. In the top half of the inning, Barons hoping to do the same here in the bottom. Lujan chases one in the dirt. Lots of movement from the right-hander as it disappeared as it crossed the plate. Williams, the runner at third, 2 outs. Lujan has a 2-2 count. Another pitch outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two pitch, Lujan lays off. They appeal down to third, but he did not swing. A walk here. The 9th man to come to the plate is Gavin Taylor. Still 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Barons chasing 2 early on in today's contest. First afternoon game of the 2025 season for the Academy Barons. And this inning started off with a ground ball that took a wicked hop on Hoover over at first base. Klonowski started off the inning with a single. Gavin Taylor smashes this one into center field, but enough hang time for Mandino as he ranges to his left to make the catch. 9 men come to the plate. 4 runs come across here for the Barons, cutting the deficit to 2. 6-4 is the score as we head to the top of the third. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this break. So we're just about ready for the top of the third inning here, and we have a interview. One of our own outfielders for the Academy Barons this center field, or this summer. It's center fielder Tommy Goodin. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. We're looking pretty good. We just had a really good inning, coming back from that deficit that we had. But, team's looking solid. We're out here competing and having a good time. So it's been pretty fun.
So Jeremiah Enix will take over on the mound. He recorded the final 2 outs in the top of the second. He'll face the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Brenton Clark will lead things off. Again, we're here with Tommy Goodin. You spent this past season at Vanderbilt. What was it like to be at a program like that coming from Camarillo High School?
Honestly, it was definitely a change off the start. Very competitive program. We take pride in everything we do, and on the field, off the field, everything. Everything is super important. Every little thing. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. It was the best place I could ever be at. Just love everything about it. Coaches, people's, honestly, not even the baseball part of it. It just, taught me how to become a better person. And I've learned a lot since I've been there. So, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I have there.
If you can take me back to that first time you heard that Vanderbilt was offering you and you were going to go make your decision to play baseball there, what was that like?
That feeling was really unreal. I took my visit. I remember I took my visit over the weekend when I was out there in Tennessee, and I got to get to know Coach Corbin, very, very well. 2 hours before I even, took my official visit, we just talked the whole time, and he got to know me on a personal level. That really influenced my choice and why I picked there, because he got to know me not only just from a baseball player standpoint, but also on a personal level where I could have conversations with him outside of baseball and just like a normal human being.
So Brenton Clark leads things off for the Foresters in the top of the third. He's standing at third base. I believe they'll give that a double and then an error on the left fielder Lujan, who had trouble with it. Easton Ruley will now come up to the plate. You went to Camarillo High School. You helped them win the Division IV CIF Southern Section Championship. What was that feeling like, helping your team win it all in high school?
That was unreal. That team, I will always have a special place in my heart. That chemistry. I want to say the one thing that I've noticed, the really good teams that I have been on, especially that one, we've had really, really good chemistry. We were hanging out on the field, off the field. We get food together. We do everything together. Pick each other up in important situations, and that's honestly what led us to get and have that that record season, because we did some things that no other team has done in that program, and that's really special to be a part of that, especially knowing you're the only one that been able to do that. And it just honestly took a lot of pride, because we were in a deficit also when we were in there coming into the sixth, and we ended up coming back 2-1 to win that, working as a team, and not getting down if we were down, and just really taking advantage of our situation and saying, hey, we can really come out here and put an impact as long as we have belief in each other, and come back to back and really help each other out in the bases and base path and everything like that. So I really did enjoy that team, and there's a lot of guys from that team that are doing special things too, so which is awesome to see. Awesome to see all your guys kind of go somewhere and do something really well, and continue the baseball journey for them. So it's really well.
This pitch drilled into center field, so another run will score for the Santa Barbara Foresters, making it a 7-4 game. RBI single for Easton Ruley. Again, we're chatting here with Tommy Goodin in the top of the third inning. Foresters lead 7-4. As a Southern California kid, was it a big culture shock going over to Tennessee?
I want to say yeah, in a way, it was kind of crazy, because Nashville is kind of known for Nashville, the Nashville things, it's definitely a lot more Southern than I thought it would be. In a way, I definitely dressed different from a lot of the people there, but what kind of surprised me is everyone was super, super nice and really embracing over there. I really loved it a lot, and it's definitely a place I could see myself in the future as well, if I ever had a place out there. I really did enjoy it, just that city and everything about it. So the people are great there, and I don't there's nothing I can really say bad about it, to be honest. Like, it's a really good city. Love it.
Dallimore grounds out to Akiyama for the first out of the inning. Enix hits Gambardella here in the third inning. So 2 runners on, first and second after the hit batter. There's 1 out. What were some of the biggest lessons you learned in your freshman season with Vanderbilt?
Biggest lessons. That's a good one. I think the biggest lesson. I want to say that, like it's not that, like, like there's a work ethic, to get to a certain point. But I want to say one of my biggest lessons in that standpoint is, no matter who or what you're doing, like there's always going to be someone that's kind of going towards the same goal as you, and you're going to find a lot of people that are going to be competing for your spot on the field and stuff like that. And it's very, I would say, anywhere you go in college and sports, it's very competitive. I don't want to say like specifically Vanderbilt, but getting to the next level, I want to say that playing in college is very much more competitive than high school, of course, because first of all, it's a bigger roster, and you're fighting for a spot every day. That spot's nothing's guaranteed, and being able to wake up every day and work hard and work your hardest, and taking no days off is very important, especially if you want to hopefully one day make it big and stuff like that. And I'm glad I learned that early, just kind of going out there, putting my 100% in every single day, and going out there and being the best player I possibly can for my team.
It's still early in the season, but how have you enjoyed your time here with the Academy Barons in summer ball?
I've really enjoyed it. All the kids are great. Like all the guys that I've met are great. We have really good chemistry. I think this year's going to be a really good year for us. Everyone's very, very supportive of each other. Everything's great. I mean, I love it. Like I just love it. Like all the guys are just great. Like chemistry is amazing. So. And we have like, I would say their team has a lot of grit. Like, we really want things. Like, like our first game, we ended up walking it off. It kind of just shows, like, we're there through however many innings there was. There's 10 innings in that game. So, we were present in all 10 innings, and, we really wanted that game, and we wanted to win. So
2-1 the count here to Liam Keithley. There's runners on second and third after the double steal by the Foresters. Again, we're in the top of the third, chatting with Tommy Goodin, freshman outfielder for the Academy Barons this summer. The Barons are led by former 11-year major leaguer Kenny Landreau. What's some of the things you've taken away from him already this summer?
That's a good one. He has a lot to say. He's very special. He has had a really good long career, great career. I want to say, one of the coolest things, because you kind of get wrapped up in baseball and everything like that. One of the coolest things I want to say is that he keeps saying is just have fun. Go out there and have fun. No matter what happens, just go out there and have fun. It's just like a relief of like there's no stress out here. It's summer. There's no school you got to worry about coming back to at the end of the day. Like you're just out here to have fun. So I think that's honestly so far the biggest thing that I've taken. But he has a lot of wise words for anyone coming to the MLB Youth Academy to come and play here. So he's a very good resource to have.
Did you get a chance to play summer ball somewhere else last season?
No, I actually went to Vanderbilt early last year. I got ahead in summer school there, and I ended up training at the facility before coming into the year, kind of getting used to the environment before having just to come in there as a fresh start in August with everyone else and trying to learn how to figure it out, to manage your classes, your books, and all that. So I'm kind of glad I did that, because it was very very helpful, and for kids that are thinking about the same thing, I thought it was very helpful, and it can really help you elevate your game in a way that you may not even realize, but just being comfortable there before you would be comfortable if you came there later could be a limiting factor, or a bigger factor for your game. Like, it's just the little things. But yeah, I mean,
So the leadoff hitter Mandino lets go of the bat after a foul ball. 1-2 the count. Is there any aspect of your game you're really looking to focus in on this summer here with the Barons?
Specifically, honestly, just coming out here and just competing hard. Like, that's for my team. Like, competing hard for my team, and you know, trying to get us to win. You know, like I just want to win with my team and come out here and, you know, try my hardest and put all of my forth in to help us win. So that's mainly, you know, that's the goal, you know, coming out here. And
1-2 pitch is ruled strike 3. So Enix only allows 1 run to come across in the top of the 3rd. 7-4 is the score. Before you go, is there a favorite food spot you have in your hometown of Thousand Oaks?
ooh, oh yeah, shout out to Chipotle. Chipotle, like, they know me by name. They got, like, you know what's funny is actually they try to get my order done before I walk in the building sometimes because I'm there so much.
Wow, okay, big Chipotle guy.
But yeah, I'm a huge Chipotle guy, so like I love Chipotle. So that's where I kind of go. Like after the game, you know, I'm probably gonna go to Chipotle. So that's where I'm gonna go.
Again, that's Tommy Goodin joining us on the broadcast. Thank you again for your time and good
Thank you
best
for
of luck
having
this
me.
season.
Sir.
We'll be right back after this commercial break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Again, want to thank Tommy Goodin for hopping on the broadcast in the top of the 3rd inning. Currently in the bottom of the 3rd, we'll see the 4, 5, 6 hitters. The Barons sent 9 men to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd. They pushed across 4 runs. They currently trail 7-4 to the Foresters. Foresters are 2-0. Barons are 1-1 on the young season. First pitch from Kahalikai misses outside. The 6'8" delivers this one. Konofsky sends it towards the left field wall, and running out of room is Sawyer Farr. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll go ahead and reset that defense for you. Behind home plate, it's Vincent Gambardella. At first base, Caleb Hoover. Over at second, Liam Keithley. Ruley is playing shortstop. And at third base, Easton Mumaw. In the outfield from left to right, Sawyer Farr, Maddox Mandino, and Brenton Clark. 2-1. This one misses upstairs. Konofsky, Del Villar, and then Hunter Backstrom. 3-2 up. He has to scoot out of the way of this one. 3-1 the count to Konofsky, the right fielder. He had the ground ball over to Hoover. And as they say in baseball, it was a ground ball with eyes. It jumped right over Hoover's glove, taking an abnormal bounce. 5-pitch walk here to lead off the inning. Konofsky gets on base again for the Barons. Del Villar will now come to the plate. Barons chasing 3. Foresters have 7 runs off of 5 hits, no errors. Barons have 4 runs off of 5 hits and 1 error. The Foresters stranded runners at second and third to end the 3rd inning. 2 big strikeouts by Jeremiah Enix in the top of the 3rd. First pitch to Del Villar. He hacks and fouls it out of play behind us. That was pitch number 50 for Kahalikai from Kahului. Told you, it's going to take me a while to get it. Kahului, Hawaii. Konofsky getting off first base. Doesn't go. VR might have had a broken bat. He sends it into left field to Farr as it had a weird sound coming off. 1 out in the inning here in the bottom of the 3rd. Konofsky goes back to first. In steps Hunter Backstrom. Backstrom had a fielder's choice over to the third baseman. Mouman was able to backhand it and didn't glove it on the initial grab, but it stayed close to his feet. He picked it up, fired it over to second. First pitch misses the zone. Backstrom takes ball one. We mentioned that Hunter Backstrom had a brother, Makai, drafted by the Braves. Both brothers played here in the MLB Youth Academy growing up. Another pitch just outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Backstrom played at West LA College this past season. Both brothers went to Sarah Gardena, private school over in the city of Gardena. Backstrom fouls this off to the left side. In 33 games, he hit .403, drove in 21 runs, had 5 home runs, 10 doubles, 10 stolen bases. He's shown good speed thus far in the Barron Summer League. Starting in center field today. 3-1 the count. He started in center field last night, went 1 for 4 at the plate versus the Arroyo Seco Saints. Backstrom fouls this into the glove of Gambardella. Runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Nielsen. Payoff pitch on the inner edge. Backstrom was leaning out of the way, but home plate umpire says that's strike 3. Out number 2. Right on the border, maybe a hair of the ball grazing the outer part of the plate, or inner part of the plate to the left-handed hitter. Two outs. J.J. Nielsen, third baseman, will come up in for strike 1. Nielsen had the RBI fielder's choice in the second that grabbed the first run of the inning. Sparked a 4-run inning for the Barons. Trailing by 3. This one misses the zone. And Nielsen was a 2-sport athlete over at Long Beach, Jordan. Committed to Hawaii to play both sports, however, currently in the transfer portal. Looking for a new home. But he was an early enrollee. Graduated high school early to join the baseball team for Hawaii in the spring. Was also practicing spring ball with the University of Hawaii football team. One-two, Klonowski takes off. Low pitch, trouble with the throw. And Klonowski will get into second base. It was a low pitch to handle for Gambardella. And then his throw ended up being low as well. Second baseman Keithley was just looking to block that one and keep it in front. Runner in scoring position. And Nielsen goes down swinging on the breaking ball. So leadoff base runner, but the Barons are unable to cash in. They trail by 3. 7-4 is the score. We head to the top of the 4th. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. We'll stay on during this inning break and get you the upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can tune in to all the home games here broadcasted live. Coming up for the Academy Barons after tomorrow's day off, they'll travel to Thousand Oaks to take on the Conejo Oaks on Tuesday, June 10th. They'll have the day off Wednesday before hosting the Foresters, the very same Foresters team, on Thursday, June 12th. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 here at the MLB Youth Academy. They'll host the Oaks on Friday, June 13th. First pitch also at 6:05. Saturday, they'll travel to the Oaks. First pitch scheduled on Saturday, June 14th at 4 p.m. before finishing off the week with a game at Great Park in Irvine, taking on the Riptide. Sunday, June 15th, first pitch scheduled at 5:30. Those are the games coming up for the Academy Barons. 2 home games in this upcoming week, Thursday and Friday. So if you're looking to tune into those games live, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Your attention please, this color will fade for the Barons and Cares at the top of the 4th inning. Entering the game, reliever number 20, Gerald Hennings. Pitching for the Barons, number 16, right-handed pitcher of IMG Academy, Wesley Wells.
So coming into the game for the Academy Barons, third pitcher we're seeing here is a right-hander by the name of Wesley Wells. Stands at 5'10", went to IMG Academy over in Florida, known for their football program, but they have pretty good other sports programs over there as well. Wells is the new pitcher taking over for Jeremiah Enix. Enix throws 24 pitches. Pitches an inning and 2/3. And we'll get you the rest of his line later on in the broadcast. Wells will face the 2-3-4 hitters, Farr, Mumma, and then Hoover.
Leading off the 10 of the foot for the Foresters, number 5, Sawyer Fry.
So Wells has a conversation with Ocampo. We'll reset the defense as well for the Barons. Behind home plate is Isaac Ocampo. At first base, Jason Delviar. Nathaniel Williams playing second. Akiyama at short. Nielsen playing third base. Sawyer Farr steps in. First pitch from Wells in for strike 1. In the outfield from left to right, Antonio Lujan, Hunter Backstrom, and Jacob Klanowski. Upstairs, evens the count at 1-1. Fouls this off. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to the left fielder. Switch hitter. Didn't get a chance to hit from the right side with Enix being pulled. High and inside as Farr has to lean out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2, also upstairs. That runs the count full to the leadoff hitter this inning. Top of the 4th, Barons chasing 3. 7-4 is the score. Wells also listed as a shortstop, so a two-way player. Just finished his senior season at the IMG Academy. Free pass to lead off the inning here for Farr. In steps Easton Mumma, the third baseman. Decent sized lead at first base. Delviar is holding. Another miss upstairs by Wells. Move over to first base to check in on Farr, and he's back in safely with the slide. This one gets drilled into right field. Klonoski jogs back, and that hits the top of the wall. Klonoski will play it on the hop. Over into second base. The throw goes. A long single for Easton Mumma. Going to third base is Sawyer Farr. Runners on first and third. Nobody out, still in the fourth inning. Top four. Inside to the number 4 hitter, Caleb Hoover. It was Braden Wellen who started the game for the Barons, won an inning and a third off 45 pitches. Allowed 5 runs, all earned to come across. Gave up 3 hits, issued 4 walks. That was the issue for Wellen, and recorded 1 strikeout. Strike 1 to Hoover. Coming in relief in the second inning was Jeremiah Enix. He threw 24 pitches, picked up 5 outs for the Barons, an inning and 2/3. 2 strikeouts, allowed 2 hits, and 1 run come across in the third inning. On the ground, into right field. An RBI single. Hoover makes it an 8-4 game in the top of the fourth. Bretton Clark. He hit the leadoff double back in the third inning when we had Tommy Goodin on. Ended up at third base as Lujan had trouble with it in the left field corner. Well, still looking for the first out of the inning. Misses upstairs. Clark 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Long throw over to Akiyama at short, trying to check in on the runner. Akiyama just blocks that ball backhanded with his glove. 2-0 the count. Clark is from Texarkana, Texas. One of those towns that has a weird combination of both Texas and Arkansas. Went to the University of Arkansas this past season, just finished his freshman year. Four straight misses there from Wells. Bases are now loaded. Nobody out. 8-4 is the score. Wells came in here in the top of the inning. Gave up a leadoff walk, followed by a single to Mumma, an RBI single to Hoover, and here a walk to Clark. In steps Ruley, the shortstop, hits from the right side. Top of the fourth inning, nobody out. Infield back for the Barons. 1-0 the count. One 0 pitch is a breaking ball that finds the zone. 1-1 the count. Another ball fouled right back into the pole here. Right in front of us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Clark. Hoover's at second. Mumma's at third base. Infield all back for the Barons. They have a force at any base. At the plate is Ruley. Shortstop today for the Foresters and head coach Bill Pintard. Pokes this one foul to the right side. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ruley, a California native, just finished his season at Central Arizona College. Poked past Williams into center field. Backstrom will get to it. They wave the runner around third base. It's cut off by Del Villar. 2 runs come across on the RBI single by Ruley, making it a 10-4 game. Three runs already across for the Foresters. Pushes the lead to 10-4. Barons were down 6-0. Responded with 4 runs of their own in the bottom of the second, but the Foresters kept applying pressure. They got 1 run in the third and earned 3 runs thus far in the fourth. Wells has thrown 20 pitches, has yet to record an out. Head coach, so that's the pitching coach, A.J. Monterez, out on the mound talking to Wells and Ocampo, giving his guy a little pep talk. There is a left-hander getting warm in the bullpen for the Barons. A different staff this year, but a few familiar faces on the roster. Pitchers like Joel Tornero and Jimmy Welsher all on the roster from last season. But a lot of new faces as well. One of those new faces in Wesley Wells. Skies this one into right field. Klanowski battling the sun, makes the catch in right field. Gets it in quickly to Akiyama. Both runners stay put. And there's 1 out in the inning. Dallimore flies out. In steps Gambardella. He was hit by a pitch and stole second in his last plate appearance. He's reached twice, but has yet to record a hit. Kenny Landreau now going to make his way to the mound, taking that slow stroll, as there's going to be a call to the bullpen. Looks like it's the left-hander Jimmy Welsher. We'll tell you a little bit more about Jimmy Welsher when we come back from a commercial break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Runners on first and second. The new pitcher is Jimmy Welsher. Welsher did pitch yesterday in the loss to the to the Arroyo Seco Saints. Welsher threw an inning. Only used 12 pitches. One thing to make note about Jimmy Welsher, he throws strikes often. Makes a move over to second. Williams was covering, but there's no throw. Ten to 4 is the score. Barons trail here in the top of the 4th inning. 3 runs have come across. All given up by Wesley Wells. First pitch to Gamberdeller. Runner takes off. Only 1 runner goes. Ocampo was thinking the second runner was going to trail to second. So a stolen base for Clark. Runners at the corners. Ruli's the runner at first base. A move to Del Villar, who's covering the bag. Applies the tag on Ruli, but he's back in standing. 1-0 the count to Gambardella. Has reached twice, has yet to record a hit. Drew a walk and then was hit by a pitch. Two balls and no strikes. Welsher, the new pitcher. Features a good curveball as well from the University of New Mexico Highlands. Up and inside, ball 3. Welsher is one of those pitchers who played on the team last year as well. Pretty effective out of the bullpen for head coach Kenny Landreau and the coaching staff. On the outer edge, that's strike 1. Move over to first. Del Villar applies the tag. Back in standing is Ruli. Welsher made 11 appearances for the Barons last summer. Pitched 17 2/3 of an inning. Posted an ERA of 3.56. We mentioned that he was very good at not walking batters, but he issues a walk to the first batter he faces here in the top of the 4th inning. In those 17 2/3 of an inning, he only gave up 4 walks last season. Spent this past year at the University of New Mexico Highlands. Before that, went to Orange Coast College. Went to Pacifica High School. Spent a senior season at Pacifica High School. Liam Keithley bloops the first pitch foul behind us at the press box. 0-1 the count. He's 1 for 2, struck out looking in the 3rd inning and had an RBI single in the 2nd. Base is juiced for the Foresters. Gambardella's at first, Ruli at second, Clark is at third. On the ground over to Williams, fields it cleanly over to Akiyama, 4-1, and on to first in time, a 4-6-3 double play that the Barons needed badly. 3 runs do come across for the Foresters. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Barons trail 10-4. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. We'll cut to a quick break and be back with the 8-9 hitters. Isaac Ocampo will lead things off after this. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Santa Barbara Foresters here in the bottom of the fourth. Standing at 6'6", it's a right-hander from Champlin, Minnesota. Goes by the name of Tyler Fino. He'll wear number 25. Again, the Foresters are in their maroon uniforms, gray pants, traveling from Santa Barbara. Led by 27th-year head coach Bill Pintard, one of the more successful summer ball coaches around. 10 World Series championships in the NBC, all since 2006. Fino takes over for Kaimi Kahalikai as a pitcher. Kahalikai from Kahului, Hawaii. Told you I'd get it by the end of the outing. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, Isaac Ocampo will lead things off, followed by DJ Akiyama and Nathaniel Williams, the three due up. Big right-hander. Played this past freshman season at TCU, Texas Christian University. Only made one appearance, threw an inning against Kansas State early on in the season on February 23rd. First pitch strike to Ocampo, 88 miles per hour on the radar gun. High chopper over to the third baseman, Muma, who had to be patient and wait for that one to find his glove, but enough time with Ocampo running to make the throw over to first. In steps Akiyama. Akiyama had the RBI single in the second inning. Barons pushed across 4, but have been quiet since. They have 4 runs off 5 hits and 1 error. The Foresters have 10 runs off 8 hits and no errors. They've been walked a lot at the plate, and they're cashing in on those opportunities, making the Barons pay for their mistakes. Akiyama watches the first one miss outside. Akiyama's another native of Hawaii, from Ea, Hawaii. Swings over the top of that one. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Spent his first year in college in Washington. Then played at Hartnell Junior College in Salinas. 2024 was at the University of Hawaii, and then last season at Campbell University in North Carolina. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Akiyama got the day off yesterday. In the middle infield, it was Mertz and Nielsen who got the start at second and short. Taylor started at third base. Akiyama swings and misses. That's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Fino. Working quickly in the bottom of the fourth. 2 up, 2 down. Top of the order, Nathaniel Williams. Williams played 36 games, made 36 starts for Santa Ana College this past year. Listed as a third baseman and second baseman, but had to play all over the field as Williams pokes this into left field. Making the diving catch is Sawyer Farr, laying out onto his chest. A very quick inning, 6 pitches, 3 outs for Tyler Fino. Top of the 5th, should be joined by Amari Yolas. So don't go anywhere, folks. An interview when we come back. Top of the 5th inning.
Leading up the 10th of the 5th
For the Foresters, we'll see the top of the order. 1, 2, 3. Mandino, followed by Farr, and then Muma. The 3 due up. Jimmy Welsher still on the mound. Four of the 5 first batters in the order are left-handed hitters, so Welsher has a favorable matchup against these guys, but the first pitch breaking ball misses upstairs to Mandino. Drag bunt over here to the second base side. Williams has no play at first base. Successful infield single for Mandino. He showed good speed in the very first inning when he hit a double. That was ruled the ground rule double because Lujan threw his hands up in the air as if it got stuck in that left field corner. Hard to tell from our angle exactly what happened, but Mandino reaches first base safely. Welsher on the mound. Farr will hit from the right side for the first time. Move over to first to check in on the runner. Another throw over to check in on the runner at first base. He's back in standing. Check swing. Strike 1, says home plate umpire. Mandino over at first base. Farr at the plate. Third throw over, and this one's a closer play. Mandino still in safely. Runner takes off. Farr swings and misses. They're going to say batter interference. So on the swing and miss, Ocampo couldn't make a clean throw. Farr was just chasing one in the dirt. Mandino will have to go back to first base.
Number 23, Easton Muma.
One out. Mandino's at first base, and a first pitch breaking ball to Muma. Batter's interference on the stolen base attempt. High throw. Ocampo looks the runner back to first. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Tapper over foul to the left side. This past season as a sophomore, Mandino did have 17 stolen bases. For the Ragin' Cajuns, the University of Louisiana. Muma at the plate. Lefty on lefty matchup for Welsher. He pitches from the third base side of the rubber. The 1-2 misses upstairs. Some of these pitches are missing the zone by a large margin. Easy takes for the hitters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Foresters have got a run every inning. 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth. Welsher hoping to put up a 0 on the scoreboard. Tapper over to the right side of the infield. Heading for third base is Mandino. Another wild hop. We've seen a few of those this afternoon at the academy. But it goes right to Nielsen at third base. First and third, 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Hoover will step in, another left-handed hitter. Second to last of 4 lefties in the lineup for head coach Bill Pintard. Mumaz over at first base. Mindino 90 feet away. Breaking ball gets Hoover, and now the bases are loaded. Control hasn't been the best here for Welsher in this outing. Pitching on back-to-back days. Through last night an inning, through 12 pitches against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Tornero started the game for the Barons yesterday through 3 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. Then 3 pitchers combined for 3 clean innings. Welsher, Sorman, and Banuelos for the Barons. Jake Rice gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, while Elias Valdez gave up another 2. Both were unearned. First pitch foul to Clark, the last left-hander in the lineup. Clark drew a walk in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2. Double in the 3rd inning, a ground out in the 2nd. Welsher, the 4th pitcher we're seeing for the Barons this afternoon. Shows bunt over to the right side. Welsher going to try and scoop it with his glove over to first base. It's going to be a tough play for the pitcher as Clark was coming out of the batter's box with some good speed down the line. 1 run comes across. 11-4 is the score. Advantage Foresters. Just a different type of program here for Santa Barbara. We'll see the Santa Barbara Foresters again on Thursday. For 1, the throw is to the right as he had to stretch. Decides to eat, throwing to first. RBI fielder's choice for Rulli.
For the Foresters, number 27, Brady Delamore.
2 runs have come across. 12-4 is the score. Advantage Santa Barbara. In steps Brady Delamore. Delamore takes downstairs, ball 1. Bases are filled with runners at the corners. Hoover's the runner at 3rd base. Rulli is the runner at first. Two and 1 the count to the DH. He's looking for his first hit of the contest. Foresters have 11 as a team. They have the runner in a rundown. VR's throw to second, airmailed. Luckily, Akiyama was behind second base to back the throw up. Stolen base for Rulli as he gets into second. Hoover's at 3rd base. Delamore at the plate. Lifts this one into the air. Ocampo takes off the mask. Had room, but he lost track of it. The young catcher couldn't stay with it. Battling the sun. First afternoon game, that always plays a factor when most of these teams and players are used to playing in the evening. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Welsher looking for that 3rd out here in the top of the 5th. Delamore offers, pops this up into shallow right. Klinowski camps under it and has it for out number 3. 2 more runs to come across for the Santa Barbara Foresters. They now lead 12-4. Bottom of the 5th inning. When we return, 2-3-4 due up for the Academy Barons. Antonio Lujan, Gavin Taylor, and Jacob Klinowski are the 3 batters due up. So we're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We have the 2-3-4 hitters due up for the Academy Barons. Antonio Lujan will lead things off. Still on the mound for the visiting Foresters is Tyler Fino. And joining us on the broadcast today is Amari Yolas. How are you doing, Amari?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks again for coming on to the broadcast here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 count. So you played this past season for Cypress College, but
Yes.
I saw before that you were at LA Valley.
Yeah.
What was some of the decision to leave LA Valley and play for Cypress?
Better coaching, better program, and it was a much better conference, being down in the OEC. So it was a lot of better competition, more reps, and just being around a good community of guys. And, everyone was getting at it over there, and I liked it down there, really.
Cypress won the Orange Empire Conference this season. Had
Yeah,
a pretty magical year. How did that feel to be a part of that?
It was fun, We made it all the way down to the Final Four, and just being a part of that group of guys, it was real special. Seeing everybody stride. Everyone was working hard, and we surprised everyone making it all the way. And, winning conference, it was fun, real fun.
You went to Palisades Charter High School. What was some of the decision that led you to LA Valley in the first place?
Out of high school, I was actually committed to CSUN, Cal State Northridge, but ended up going to LA Valley due to some credits. But going to Valley, it was a kind of like a last-minute decision, and I hit two-way most of the time. But when I was at LA Valley, I mostly pitched, so I kind of had to make the decision of what am I going to do? Am I gonna hit, keep trying to hit and stay in the field, or am I going to do what people like and start throwing more, So that's why now, like when I went to Cypress, I was focused on pitching more, and because that's what I want to do with my career, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just focusing on filling up the strike zone,
So Lujan leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th with a grounder over to second. Taylor down 0-1 after a swing and miss. We're here with Amari Yolas, one of the pitchers here on the Barons staff. Played this past season at Cypress College. What were some of the biggest takeaways or lessons you learned while at Cypress with that coaching staff?
Letting go of mistakes, is you have to really turn to the next page in baseball. You can't hold on to anything. You kind of just have to go out there and play. I learned a lot while I was down there about my mental, about the mental part of baseball and the physical part of baseball. And being down there, one thing I really got out of it was how mental the game was. Everyone knows how mental it is, but I really learned that it really is a mindset. And if you have a positive mindset and you're hungry, then you'll be good,
1 ball and 2 strikes to Taylor. Takes this one for strike 3 looking. Quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. I know it's still early on in the season, but what's one thing you've enjoyed a lot here with the Academy Barons this summer?
Here with the Barons, I plan on coming in and, doing my thing, Let me think. I really want to be a big part of this program this summer. I'm going to start throwing next week, so, you guys will be able to see that. Come in with good energy, throwing lots of strikes and having fun, with everyone out there on the field.
Is there one aspect of your game you really want to focus in on this season, in the summer? It's all right. We can skip that question.
No, I'd say learning how to throw a changeup.
Okay.
I'd say that. Yeah.
1-1 the count to Klanovsky. Again, we're here with pitcher Amari Yolas for the Academy Barons. Notice that you take photography too. When did you get into that hobby, and how far do you want to take that?
I started after I graduated, because in high school I played football, ran track, and baseball, and I used to love always seeing all the photos of myself. And then after I graduated, you know, some friends and I got some cameras, and we started going out and just taking photos. He started a clothing brand. I was taking photos for him, and we kind of both just thrived like that. I took my photography a lot more seriously. I was taking photos for West LA football, Elko football team, and my mom helped me out getting me some camera gear, and I love it. Coming out here taking photos for you guys, so guys can have photos for for Instagram. I love that. You know, seeing my work getting put out there, like there's no better feel than that. You know, it was easy to learn too. I learned everything through social media,
Right.
and it's fun. You know, it's like photography it's a community.
Barons go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the fifth. On the way to in the bottom of the fifth, on the way to the top of the sixth, we're here with Amari Yolas. A couple more questions for you. You're from the Pacific Palisades. Is there any favorite food spot that you have out there?
The Garden Cafe.
Garden Cafe.
The Garden Cafe.
Okay.
You
What
know,
do they have there?
rest in peace, Palisades. You know, because they're affected from the fires. You know, I grew up, went there all 4 years, so it's sad seeing the stuff that happened earlier in the year. But yeah, the Garden Cafe. You ask anybody that lives in the Palisades, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Awesome.
You know, they had the fries, the burgers, the sandwiches, the milkshakes, the slushies. They honestly had everything over there.
And if you don't mind sharing, what's your next step as far as baseball goes? Have you committed anywhere, or what schools are you
No,
looking at?
I'm not committed anywhere yet. That's why I'm out here putting in work with the Barons. Hopefully I get some looks at, you know, get some coaches' attention, and then we'll go from there, you know.
Awesome. Again, that's Amari Yolas, pitcher for the Academy Barons this summer. Thanks for making the time to come
Thank
join
you.
us on the broadcast, and we look forward to seeing your photography and your pitching this season.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So 8-9-1 will be due up here for the Foresters in the top half of the sixth. They lead 12-4. Big thanks to Amari Yolas being on the broadcast today in the bottom of the fifth. Top of the sixth. Gambardella fouls the first pitch off. New pitcher on the mound is Wilfredo Valenzuela. Fifth pitcher we're seeing here in the afternoon. Braden Wellen started things off. Jeremiah Enix followed. Wesley Wells, Jimmy Welsher, and now Wilfredo Valenzuela. Welsher's day is done after 26 pitches, went an inning and 2/3. 0-2 the count quickly to the catcher. Valenzuela pitched an inning in Friday night's victory. Clean top of the fifth. On the ground, over to Williams. Goes a long ways to grab it into the outfield, but no chance for him to make a throw over to first. Leadoff single for the Foresters. Barons are hoping for a 0 up on the scoreboard. Foresters have gotten a run in each of the first 5 innings. 1 in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. They lead 12-4. Barons had 4 runs in the second inning, but have been quiet since. Valenzuela works. First pitch is a foul ball to the left side. Move over to the first baseman, Del Villar. He has to block this one with his body. Runner on first is Gambardella, the catcher. Conservative lead at first. Second baseman Keithley in the batter's box. 0-1. Foul tips this into the glove. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2. Pitch misses down and away. One ball and 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on first. Valenzuela on the mound for the Academy Barons. 1-2 is a foul ball on the right side, out of play. Valenzuela spent this past season for Fullerton College. Chopper to the left side, foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Keithley hit into a ground ball double play back in the 4th inning. Struck out looking in the 3rd and then hit an RBI single in the 2nd. He's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. The 9-hitter in the Foresters lineup today. 2-2. From the right-hander, finds the zone. That's strike 3. Breaking ball on the front door. Keithley set down for the first out of the inning. First afternoon game here of the 2025 season. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll stream all the home games for the Academy Barons, and we're hoping to get a lot more interviews in during the season. We have Tommy Goodin in the top of the 3rd and Amari Yolas in the bottom of the 5th. Jump move over to first base. Back in safely is Gambardella. Mandino, the center fielder, get another at-bat here, his 5th of the evening, or of the afternoon. Still daytime here on this Sunday. Upstairs, ball 1. Mandino has reached 3 times, a double in the 1st. Came around to score. Drew a walk in the 2nd. Scored on that one as well. Struck out in the 3rd and then hit a single. Came around to score in the 5th. On the outer half, that's ball. That ball is strike 1. Foul tips this one into the glove. Strike 2. Ocampo able to hang on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Sawyer Farr, the left fielder. Gambardella still at first base. Valenzuela misses high and wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barons won their opening game on Friday night, 6-5 over the Bombers. Lost yesterday 8-1 to the Saints. Taking on the Foresters, and they'll have a day off tomorrow. A much needed day off as they begin their 2025 campaign. Lifts this one into the air, into right field. Konofsky catches it for out number 2. Sawyer Farr now will make his way to the plate.
Coming to the plate for the Foresters, number 5, Sawyer Farr.
2 outs. Gambardella still at first base. He had the leadoff single in the inning. Valenzuela hoping to put up a 0. Would be the first 0 of the afternoon for the Barons and their pitching staff. 0-1 the count. First pitch strike from Valenzuela. 2 outs. Del Villar holding the runner at first. Chops this one foul past the first base coach. No balls and 2 strikes. Farr was called out on a batter's interference as Mandino was trying to steal second. Mandino looked like he was going to get in there, but Farr was swinging, and he stepped in over the home plate, interfering with Isaac Ocampo's throw down. He was ruled out by the home plate umpire. Mandino had to go back to first. Foul ball to the left side. Count remains at 0-2. Farr has reached twice, a walk in the 4th, an RBI double in the 2nd. Struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. That was against pitcher Braden Wellen. Next pitch will be number 19 for Valenzuela. Long pause from the righty. Delivers this one, sent into right field. Klonowski can't chase it down. He'll have to play it off the wall. And this one goes underneath the wall. So both runners will be granted 2 bases. Gambardella will head back to third base. There's a little gap over there in right field, right underneath the American Airlines sponsor on the wall. So it could have been a run for the Foresters. Instead, it's second and third. Gambardella at third. Farr at second base. Mumma now to the plate. He's 2 for 4. Ocampo lets this one get away, but not far enough for the runner at third to test it. He stays put. Want to know the count to Mumma. In the home half of the 6th inning, we'll have the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Del Villar, Hunter Backstrom, and J.J. Nielsen. Barons only have 5 hits as a team. 4 runs, all coming in the 2nd inning. They went down 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 from Valenzuela, misses outside. Going back to the 3rd inning, the Barons have been retired. Now 9 batters in a row. They had a leadoff walk in the 3rd, but since then have yet to have a base runner on the base paths for the home half of the innings. 3-0 the count to the 3-hitter. Caleb Hoover is the on-deck man. Three and 1 the count. This one finds the zone. Long pause from Valenzuela here on the mound. On the ground over to second, Williams gathers, tosses over to first in time. No runs come across here. For the Foresters, Valenzuela does a job keeping it a 12-4 game. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. 2 home games this upcoming week, both Thursday and Friday. When we come back, bottom of the 6th, Jason Del Villar will lead things off when we come back. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Bottom of the sixth, Jason Del Villar, Hunter Backstrom, and J.J. Nielsen. Noah Alvarez here on the call. 12-4, Foresters lead. They have 12 runs off 13 hits, no errors. The Barons have 4 runs off 5 hits and 1 error. Del Villar, the first baseman in the lineup today, batting 5th. Went to Sonoma State. We mentioned they're in the news because as of January, they announced they were no longer going to continue their sports programs. So Del Villar looking for a new home. A couple other players on the roster from Sonoma State this past spring. First pitch in from the right-hander Tyler Fino as a strike. Fino still on the mound. The second pitcher this afternoon came in relief of Kaimi Kahalikea. On the inner edge, bottom part of the zone, strike 2. Quick 0-2 hole on Del Villar. Flew out to left field in his last at-bat. Drifts outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Del Villar had a single in the first. Flew out to left field in the third, 1 for 2 on the day. Close miss there. It's ruled ball 2. Del Villar went to Corona Centennial High School, and right after high school, he went to San Bernardino Valley Junior College, SBVC. He taps this one over to second base. No problem is Liam Keithley as he throws over to first in time. Make it 10 straight retired by the Foresters pitching staff. You have to go back to the 3rd inning when the Barons last had a base runner. It was a walk leading off the inning to Jacob Konofsky. In steps Hunter Backstrom. Left-handed hitting outfielder. Holds up on his swing. Home plate umpire says it's strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hunter Backstrom recently committed to UC Riverside on April 13th. Will continue playing baseball there after 1 season at West LA. On the edge, or somewhere near it, for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. Backstrom awaits the pitch. Holds up his swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.J. Nielsen in the on-deck circle. In the dirt for ball 3. Out of high school initially, Backstrom was committed to Fresno State. He redshirted for the Bulldogs in 2024 before transferring back to West LA College this past spring. Fouls this one off at home plate. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Three and 2 the count. 1 out, nobody on base. Bottom 6. On the ground over to first base. No tricky hop this time for Hoover. He beats Backstrom to the bag. 2 outs. 3 unassisted for out number 2.
For the Barons, third baseman, number 8, J.J. Nielsen.
Nielsen comes in now. Hitting 7th in the lineup. He's 0 for 1. Struck out swinging. Had the RBI ground out. Rule out a sacrifice hit so it doesn't go against his batting line. 0 for 1. Came around to score on that fielder's choice as well in the second. Barons had the 4 runs all in the second inning. Showed a good burst of offense in response to the Foresters picking up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. However, the Barons haven't been able to keep up scoring-wise with the Foresters. Nielsen ahead of that breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes. In the top of the 7th, we'll see Caleb Hoover lead things off. 4-5-6. Due up for the Foresters and head coach Bill Pintard. Skies this one into center field. Mandino to his left, a few steps, and that's out number 3. 12 straight retired in order going back to the 3rd inning. Foresters in command, 12-4. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Top of the 7th when we come back after this break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, Caleb Hoover, Brenton Clark, and Easton Ruley will lead things off. The 3 due up, while Fredo Valenzuela pitched a clean bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 runners did reach on base, but nobody came across to score. The first time a Barons pitcher has put up a 0 on the score bug. Foresters earned 1 run in the first, 5 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and then 2 in the 5th. Here in the top of the 7th, Foresters lead 12-4 on this Sunday afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons before this inning starts. They'll have tomorrow off as they do here. Mondays are a regular off day in the CCL. Tuesday they'll travel to Thousand Oaks to take on the Conejo Oaks. First pitch scheduled at 4 p.m. They'll have Wednesday off before hosting back-to-back games on Thursday and Friday. Thursday they'll host the very same Foresters. First pitch scheduled at 6:05, and then Friday they'll host the Oaks. First pitch also at 6:05 here at the MLB Youth Academy on the campus of Compton College, right off the 91 freeway, very accessible in the Southern California area. Hoover steps in, awaits the first pitch from Valenzuela here on the top of the 7th. 1-0 the count to the first baseman. After Friday, they'll take on the Oaks on the road Saturday, June 14th. First pitch at 4 before ending the week with a game at Orange County, Great Park of Irvine against the Riptide. First pitch scheduled at 5:30. So 2 home games next week, 3 on the road. That's the upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons and head coach Kenny Landreau. Smacks this one into center field. Hunter Backstrom is racing in. He slides. It ricochets off his body. Now Backstrom's going to throw over to second. And beating the throw is Hoover. Bang, bang play as Backstrom laid out. He's lucky that ball didn't get past him. Good effort by Backstrom in center field. Hoover with some good hustle out of the first base side of the batter's box.
For the Foresters, number 6,
Left-handed hitter.
White.
Here's Brenton Clark, the right fielder. 2 for 3. Also drew a walk, has reached base 3 times this afternoon. Runner on second, Valenzuela checks in on him before firing home. First pitch is downstairs. Into left field, it'll one-hop Lujan. Third base coach will hold Hoover at third base, and there's runners at the corners. Nobody out.
Coming to the plate for the Foresters, number 9, Easton Rowley.
Back-to-back hits here for the Foresters to open up the inning. Looking to tack on to their 12-4 lead, a very commanding lead. Santa Barbara Foresters currently 2-0 to start the young season. We mentioned in Friday night's contest against the Bombers how they are playing in a different league, and then after the conclusion of this season, they'll play in the Utah Marshals Summer League Championships. The Foresters will play in the NBC postseason and look to compete in the World Series there. Want to know the count? Del Villar at first base, holding the runner. That's Clark at first. Hoover's at third base. On the ground to Nielsen at third base. Over to Williams for 1. On to first. In time. Del Villar with the stretch. Close play at first base, but it's 2 outs. Not going to home was the runner Hoover at third base. He's having a chat with his third base coach, probably about something on that situation. Valenzuela looking to put up another 0. There's a runner 90 feet away, and in steps Brady Dallimore. Big strike zone, 6'5". That one does find the top edge of it. Dallimore's 0 for 3. Drew a walk in the second. Rips this one into center field. Backstrom going back, and he can't get to it. This will get to the wall. Dallimore holds up at second. Scoring from third is Caleb Hoover. And that makes it a 13-4 game in the top of the 7th. An RBI double. Dallimore joins the hit parade. 16 hits for the Foresters this afternoon. Now we'll see Vincent Gambardella, one of the few Santa Barbara natives on the roster. He's the only Santa Barbara native in the starting lineup. There's a few players from Santa Barbara County on the pitching staff. A couple guys from Isla Vista and Goleta. 0-1 the count to the catcher. Spent this past spring at UNLV. One pitch from Valenzuela. Chopper, foul to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on first base is Dallimore, second base. He's over at second after the RBI double. Gambardella steps back into the batter's box. This one hit Gambardella on the front foot. Not very hard as he jogs over to first base. Runners on first and second. 2 out still in the top of the 7th inning.
For the Foresters, number 12, Lane Keithley.
13-4 is the score. First pitch to Keithley, on the ground over to Nielsen. He tried to get that one on the short hop. Sort of an in-between ball. He hesitated, thought about going and waiting for it. Instead, attacked it, tried to get on the short hop, and instead it clicks off his leg. Luckily, he doesn't get into left field, or that would have been a run for the Foresters. Bases are loaded. Still 2 outs in the inning. Infield single for Keithley. In steps Mandino. Lots of speed out of the batter's box, so no grounder is routine with him coming out of the batter's box. On the ground, up the middle. Akiyama ranges to his left, and he can't get to it. Backstrom will play this one in center field. 2 runs come across for the Foresters. 15-4 is the score after the RBI single by Maddox Mandino. Foresters are a very strong program, off to a 2-0 start. A lot of talented players on their roster. 3 runs in the 7th. In steps Sawyer Farr. Runners on first and second. Upstairs, ball 1. Outside for ball 2. The Barons will see this Santa Barbara team again on Thursday. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. Here at the MLB Youth Academy in the city of Compton. Last pitch was number 42 of the outing for Valenzuela, coming out of the bullpen. On the ground, Williams gives a diving effort, but he can't get to it. Throw all the way home by Klinowski is a strong one. Keithley will stay put at third base.
Number 23, Easton Muma.
Single for Farr, and in steps Easton Muma, the 9th man to come to the plate. Bases loaded, still 2 outs. There was 2 outs with the runner at second. But it was a double, hit by pitch, a single, another single, and another single. 3 straight singles now for the Santa Barbara Foresters. 19 hits in the contest. Slaps it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mumal grounded out to second base to end the 6th inning. Has 2 singles in the contest, 2 for 5. Two balls, 1 strike. Coaching staff hoping Valenzuela can finish the inning off. First time the Foresters played the Barons last summer was on June 16th, Father's Day. Foresters defeated the Barons 7-2. 3-1 the count. That was the only time we saw the Foresters here at the MLB Youth Academy. The Barons did go to Santa Barbara 2 more times after that. After going up 0-1, 4 straight misses. A walk here with the bases loaded, that'll drive in another run. 16-4 is the score. Keithley will come in from third base. Mandino will go to third. Farr goes to second. Mumaz at first. Valenzuela gives way to new pitcher Hudson LaBarbera. LaBarbera will take over on the mound for the Academy Barons. Landro has a quick pep talk with the team. We'll take a commercial break here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, and we'll tell you a little bit more about the new pitcher and LaBarbera. Caleb Hoover steps back into the batter's box for the second time in this top of the 7th. Hudson LaBarbera takes over on the mound. Pitches from the third base side of the rubber. First pitch swinging on the ground to Williams at second. Over to Del Villar at first. 4-3 for out number 3. Barons finally retire the side. Not before 4 more runs come across for the Santa Barbara Foresters. To the bottom of the 7th we go. 8-9-1 due up after the 7th inning stretch. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back. First pitch swinging. Ocampo sends it into center field. And we have a leadoff single in the home half of the 7th. My name is Noah Alvarez saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Barons trail 16-4. They put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, have been quiet since. That ends a streak of 12 straight batters in a row retired by the Foresters pitching staff. There's a new pitcher on the mound wearing number 34. It's Noah Waldeck. Pitched this past season as a junior for St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference. First pitch to DJ Akiyama. Misses outside. Akiyama's 1 for 2, had an RBI single in the 2nd. Struck out swinging in the 4th. Third time around in the order for the Barons. A few of the Foresters hitters have already been up 6 times. 19 hits in the contest for the Foresters. Only 6 for the Barons in this afternoon's contest. First day game of the season. Downstairs for ball 3. Ocampo has a small lead over at first base. Hoover's the defender holding. Smacks this past the shortstop into left field. So back-to-back singles here for the Barons in the home half of the 7th, showing some signs of life. Only 9 more outs to go. Before playing at St. Mary's College, Waldeck spent some time at Palomar Community College. That's why that name sounds familiar. Talented right-hander for the Palomar Comets. Calling games for the Santa Ana College Dons the past 3 springs. They've had a lot of battles with Palomar College. 2 of them came in the postseason. Chopper from Williams over to the shortstop. Slow flip over to second. Not going to be time to get 2. Williams reaches via the fielder's choice. Runners at the corners. Ocampo moves to third. With the runners at first and third, catcher Gambardella gives out the signs. In steps Antonio Lujan. He mentioned that his father played at Azusa Pacific, where he currently plays. But Antonio Lujan, his mother, is Lisa Fernandez, very famous athlete in the softball community. Currently coaches at UCLA, won 2 World Series for the UCLA softball team in the 90s, both 1990 and 1992. First pitch in the dirt to Lujan. Lujan pokes this on the ground right to the shortstop, but another wicked hop that goes into the outfield. Scoring from third base is Isaac Ocampo, making this a 16-5 game. That's now the 3rd tricky hop we've seen. There was one to Hoover on a grounder from Klinowski. There was one on the throw from the outfield from Klinowski when he was throwing it in. It bounced over his cutoff man, and this time when the shortstop, Rulli, was waiting for this pitch, it was hit at the end of the bat. Maybe had some spin that sparked that weird hop. Downstairs to Gavin Taylor. An infield single for Lujan. He's running at first. Williams is at second. Taylor looking for his first hit, hoping to reach base for the first time. He's 0 for 3. Swings over the top of that one. We mentioned Gavin Taylor is the brother of Colin Taylor. Colin has played these past 2 summers for the Academy Barons. Runner takes off for third base. That's Williams, who head first slides into third base. Lujan stays put at first. 2-1 the count. No throw from the catcher Gambardella as he had to backhand that one, partially in the dirt. Third baseman Mumma playing at the edge of the grass. First baseman Hoover is holding the runner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor got the start behind the plate last night against the Saints, went 0 for 3. Checks his swing, they peel down to first. Taylor gets another chance. First base umpire says he did not go around. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Klanovsky is on deck. 16-5 is the score, 1 run across. Another runner 90 feet away. Barons hoping to cash in. Taps this foul right to Klanovsky, who's in the batter circle. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count remains full. And Taylor and his brother Colin both played at LA Valley this past spring. Downstairs for ball 4, so Taylor reaches for the first time this afternoon. Bases are loaded for the Academy Barons here in the bottom of the 7th. Hoping to chip away. 16-5, can't get all back at once. Few innings, or a few runs here in this inning, a few runs in the next inning. Makes it a much more manageable game if they can find a way to claw back into this one. Klanovsky has come up big for the Barons a few times, especially in last summer. Hoping to do so here early on in the 2025 summer season. And Noah Waldeck is a new pitcher on the mound. Third pitcher we're seeing this afternoon for head coach Bill Pintard and the Foresters coaching staff. On the edge for strike 1. Taylor's at first, Lujan at second, Williams at third. 1 out in the inning. Klanovsky smacks it foul, left side. Third baseman Mumma is the only infielder in at the edge of the grass. The rest of the infield is back. Klanovsky lays off for ball 1. That one breaks out the bottom of the zone. Tough take, especially from a left-handed hitter. Looks like it starts outside of the zone, then breaks its way in, and then dips below the knees. On the ground over to short. Foresters will look to turn 2. Hoover makes the pick at first base. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Only 1 run comes across here for the Barons. They now trail 16-5 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. We'll cut to a commercial break. Top of the 8th inning. Brent and Clark due up when we come back. Top of the 8th. Foresters lead 16-5 here at the MLB Youth Academy. Brenton Clark will lead things off. Hudson LaBarbera was called into the game to get the final out of the top of the 7th, and he did so with one pitch. Has a chance to record the final 7 outs for the Barons. I'm sure that's what head coach Kenny Landro and pitching coach AJ Monterez are hoping for. Barons and the rest of the CCL do have an off day tomorrow, as they traditionally do on Mondays. Barons will be back on action on the road Tuesday at Conejo Oaks, as Barbara that's a comebacker and tosses it underhand to first base for out number 1. 2 pitches, 2 outs for LaBarbera in this outing. He finished his sophomore season at Sonoma State this past year. Played 1 season at Orange Coast College. Outside for ball 1. Easton Ruley. Two for 4 in the contest. Also drew a walk. Has reached 3 different times. Hit it into a ground ball double play in his last at bat. Over to J.J. Nielsen. Two balls, 1 strike. Top of the 8th inning. 1 out. Breaking ball misses inside. Braden Wellen started the game. Jeremiah Enix followed. Wesley Wells, then Jimmy Welcher. Wilfredo Valenzuela, and now Hudson LaBarbera. 6 different pitchers today this contest for the Barons. Swings through that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ruley was out of his shoes on the swing. One out of the inning. Nobody on base. Breaking ball. Misses the zone. Upstairs. Tad inside. Close miss. So Ruley goes to first. 1 out base runner for the Santa Barbara Foresters. The only inning where they didn't score was in the top of the 6th. In steps Brady Dallimore, the DH. Dallimore has to bend out of the way. LaBarbera pitches from the third base side of the rubber. Decent sized lead over at first base by Ruley. Just a bit outside, says the home plate umpire. 2 balls and no strikes. Quick move over to first base. Del Villar applies the tag. Ruley's back in safely. Down and away. 3 straight misses to the DH. Picked up an RBI double in his last at-bat. His only hit of the contest. Now 1 for 4. Also drew a walk. Following that last walk issued by LaBarbera, 10 walks have been issued by the Barons pitching staff, 4 by Braden Wellen, 2 from Wesley Wells, 1 from Welsher, 1 from Valenzuela, now 1 from Hudson LaBarbera. Move over to first. Ruley beats the throw. 3-1 the count to the DH, Dallimore. Downstairs for ball 4. Back-to-back walks, the 11th walk issued by the Barons pitching staff. Just off of walks and hits alone, the Barons have given up 30 base runners, not counting hit by pitches. Foresters have 19 hits and 11 walks in today's contest. A check swing. Umpire said he did go around. Ocampo can't find the ball. It's over to his right. And so that's going to be a 2-base wild pitch. Want to know the count to the catcher as the first ball misses downstairs. And scoring from second is Easton Ruley, making it a 17-5 game. A check swing. He did go around, and it hit his elbow. So home plate umpire says because he went around, it's counted as a strike. Downstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Runner on third base is Dallimore. Breaking ball, missing the outer part of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Liam Keithley. Pulls this one foul. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, coming up for the Barons, 2 home games this week. Both towards the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, they'll host the Foresters on Thursday, and then June 13th, they'll host the Conejo Oaks for the first time this season. Downstairs for ball 3. LaBarbera loses the hitter. Gambardella reaches via the walk. 3 walks issued in this inning alone by LaBarbera. Runners on first and third. And steps the second baseman, Keithley. Keithley steps back in after Ocampo gives the sign. Swing and miss there from the second baseman. He hit a single and came around to score back in the 7th inning. Forrester sent 10 men to the plate in the top of the 7th. Next pitch will be number 40. No, number 20 on the outing for Hudson LaBarbera. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Keithley's 2 for 5. Downstairs for ball 2. Keithley hit an RBI single in the 1st, struck out looking in both the 3rd and the 6th inning, and then hit a inning-ending double play to end the 4th. Breaking ball in the zone for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, runners at the corners, 1 out. Breaking ball, pokes this one into foul territory. Del Villar gives chase, but he won't be able to get to it. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Keithley. 1 out. Into the air. Del Villar makes the catch, battling the sun. A pop-up for out number 2, back to the top of the order, and we'll see Maddox Mandino.
The Foresters, number 1, Maddox Mandino.
Gambardello's the runner at first. Allamore the runner at second. Off-speed pitch. Mandino was way out in front. On the ground over to the second baseman, Williams. Over to first. Bang, bang play. That's out number 3. 1 more run comes across for the Foresters here in the top of the 8th. Your Barons trail 17-5. It's been that kind of day for the Barons here on this Sunday afternoon. We appreciate you for tuning in. In the bottom of the 8th, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Del Villar will lead things off, followed by Hunter Backstrom and J.J. Nielsen when we come back. Jason Del Villar will lead things off here in the home half of the 8th. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on this Sunday afternoon. Barons entered today with a 1-1 record. Foresters 2-0 on the season. If the score holds up, Foresters will advance to 3-0. Barons will go to 1-2. Still 6 more outs to play with here in the bottom of the 8th. Inside and a bit upstairs. On the first pitch to Del Villar. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. Singled in the second. 1 for 3. Lifts this one into the air, right field. Shading over to his right is Brenton Clark. He makes the catch for out number 1. Foresters have 17 runs off 19 hits. No errors. Barons have 5 runs off 8 hits, 1 error defensively. Backstrom steps into the batter's box. Noah Waldeck still on the mound for the Foresters. Fouls the first pitch off. Misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 2 the count. Waldeck threw 18 pitches in the 7th inning. A check swing. They appealed down to third base. Umpire said he did go around. Backstrom doesn't like the call. Strikeout for out number 2.
The Barons number 8, third baseman, J.J. Nielsen.
Now Nielsen will step to the batter's box. Skies this one into center field. Racing back is Mandino into the right center gap. It's the right fielder, Clark, calling him off to make the catch for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the home half of the 8th. Barons down to their final 3 outs, trailing 17-5. In the top of the 9th, we'll see the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Barring any substitutions, it'll be Sawyer Farr, Easton Mumau, and Caleb Hoover. Those are the 3 batters due up. In the bottom of the 9th, the last 3 chances for the Barons. We'll see Isaac Ocampo, DJ Akiyama, and Nathaniel Williams. That's the upcoming 9th inning. Barring any substitutions here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel whenever you get a chance. You'll stay up to date with all the action and all the games that we stream live. A new pitcher on the mound. We'll tell you the name and then get you more information when we come back from this break. J.J. Nolan will be on the mound for the Academy Barons after this break. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, J.J. Nolan, the new pitcher on the mound. He threw a clean inning in Wednesday's exhibition match against the Malibu Marlins. He hasn't pitched in the official regular season yet for the Barons, so this will be his first outing. He's a right-hander from Cal State Dominguez Hills. We had him on the broadcast during Friday's game. a native of Glendora.
The forces of the top of the ninth, number 5, Sawyer Farr.
Just finished his freshman year at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Stands at 6 foot, weighs 170. He'll face the 2-3-4 hitters, Farr, Muma, and Hoover. Downstairs for ball 1. On the edge, 86 miles per hour on the radar gun. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Farr hit a single in his last at-bat in the 7th. He has 3 hits today. This one gets away from Ocampo. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's 3 for 4 on the day. Check that, 3 for 5. He drew a walk. Was also called out on a batter's interference when his teammate Mandino was heading for second on a stolen base attempt. Interfered with the catcher. Swing and miss for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nolan, the new pitcher on the mound for the Barons. Misses there. Farr, a switch hitter. We saw him hit from the right side once against Jeremiah Enix. Wasn't in the game long enough, or Jimmy Welcher wasn't in the game long enough to face Farr as he works a walk to lead off the inning. 13th walk issued by the Academy Barons. A recipe for disaster if you're the coaching staff. Hard to compete in games when your pitching staff allows that many free base runners. Del Villar will hold the runner at first. On the outer edge for strike 1. Up and away for strike, for ball 1. Two balls and 1 strike to count to Easton Muma, third baseman. He drew a walk in his last at-bat, grounded out to second in the 6th. 2 hits, 2 for 4 on the day. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 groundouts. Top of the 9th, Barons trail 17-5. Bloops this one into left field. Lujan races in, but he will not be able to get this one in the air. Plays it on a hop. Back-to-back base runners here for the Foresters. That's hit number 20. Farr goes to second. Muma picks up his 3rd hit of the afternoon, and in steps Caleb Hoover. Outside for ball 1. Another pitch misses outside. You can tell by Nolan's body language. Bit upset with himself after missing on 2 straight to Hoover. Nolan made 9 appearances for the Dominguez Hills baseball team this past spring. 9 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts. Finished with an ERA of 8 flat. in the zone for strike two. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nolan hoping to get his first out here, facing Hoover. Hoover had a double back in the 7th. 2 for 4. Was hit by a pitch once. Foul towards the riverbed on the left side. Chases this one outside, and he goes down swinging. First out of the inning. Runners on first and second still. There's 1 out here in the top of the 9th. In steps the right fielder, Brenton Clark. Jam shot over to Akiyama at short. He can't backhand it. They hold up the runner at third base. Bases are now loaded for the Foresters here in the top of the 9th. With the lefty at the plate, it was Akiyama holding the runner at second. So that's why he was positioned closer to the second base bag. Had he been in his normal position, might have been able to get to that one and at least record 1 out. Instead, it's bases loaded. 1 out in the inning. Rulli watches this one miss inside. Foul tips into the glove. Rulli had an RBI single in the 3rd and in the 4th. Had an RBI ground out in the 5th. Two hits in today's contest. Two for 3 with 2 walks. And then the sacrifice hit. 3 RBIs. Lays off a pitch upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul to the right side. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the on-deck circle is Brady Dallimore. Nolan hoping for a ground ball. In the bottom of the 9th, we'll see the 8-9-1 hitters, Ocampo, Akiyama, and Nathaniel Williams do it up for the Academy Barons. 1 run already across here for the Santa Barbara Foresters in the top of the 9th. Klinowski in right field has a chance at this one. It'll be deep enough for the runner to tag at third base, making it an 18-5 game in Sawyer Farr. He's the only runner that tags up. The other 2 runners stay put. 4th RBI for Easton Rulli. And there's 2 outs in the inning here for the Barons. In steps the DH Brady Dallimore. Nolan jams Dallimore on this pitch, and he fouls it off out of play. Dallimore drew a walk in the 8th inning. His only hit came back in the 7th. It was an RBI double. 0 for 3, 1 for 3, 1 for 4. Long day at the ballpark. He's 1 for 4 with 2 walks. Finds himself in an 0-2 hole. 0-2 misses downstairs. Nolan looks to get Dallimore to chase, but he shows good discipline. Lays off the pitch. Fastball in at 87. Breaks outside the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check swing. No swing, says both the umpires. 2 balls. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. It's a full count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Expect the runners to be moving on the pitch from Nolan. Here's the payoff. Skips in the dirt. Ocampo backhands it. Bases loaded again for the Foresters here in the top of the 9th. Reminder, 2 more games this upcoming week on Thursday and Friday. The Barons will host the Santa Barbara Foresters again on Thursday. And then host the Conejo Oaks on Friday. Both games, first pitch scheduled at 6:05. Right over the glove of Akiyama into left field. 2 runs will come and touch home for the Foresters. 20-5 now is the score. Their 22nd hit of the contest, an RBI double, 2 RBI double for Vincent Gambardella.
For the Foresters, number 12, Liam Keatley.
Been that kind of day here for the Barons pitching staff. 20 runs off 22 hits and 13 walks issued. Foresters showing you why they're one of the better teams in the summer ball here in California. 0-1 the count to Leon Keithley. He hits this one on the ground to Akiyama. Akiyama has trouble with it at shortstop. Runners at the corners. Another run touches home plate. So Keithley's the runner at first. We're going to see Maddox Mendino, the 9th man, to come to the plate here. It's been a long afternoon for the Barons, trailing 21-5. Nolan spikes this one. Seems like he's lost the confidence. We talked a little bit on Friday about the mental game. He'll have to shake this one. He also gave a great tidbit that one of the assistant coaches, Tank Kazarian, has a toilet in the dugout so that players can metaphorically flush any bad plays or bad innings. In the air for Akiyama in shallow left field. He makes the catch for out number 3. So Nolan finally does get out of it, but not before 3 more runs. 4 more runs come across here for the Foresters. They lead 21-5 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Final 3 outs for the Barons on this Sunday afternoon. 8-9-1 due up. Isaac Ocampo will lead things off after this break. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Santa Barbara Foresters, hoping to record the final 3 outs in today's contest. It's the bottom of the 9th. Barons trail 21-5. 8-9-1 is due up, and the new pitcher is Elliot Gallegos. He'll face Ocampo, DJ Akiyama, and Nathaniel Williams. On the ground for the shortstop. Backhanded for out number 1. That's Ruley making the play. 2 outs, 1 out. 2 more outs for the Barons. Their final 2 outs here in this contest. Akiyama, the switch hitting shortstop, has hit. Akiyama's a switch hitter, but he hasn't hit from the right side of the plate today. Santa Barbara's thrown all right-handers on the mound. It was first Kaimi Kahalika, then Tyler Fino, Noah Waldeck, and now Elliot Gallegos. Tyler Fino in line for the win as the starter. Kahalikai only went 3 innings in the contest. Did give up 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Fino was very effective, pitching the next 3 innings. Didn't allow any base runners, no hits or walks issued. Struck out 3. 3-0 the count to the 9-hitter. This one plunks Akiyama. After a long day like today, that one hurts a little bit more as he makes his way to first base. Waldeck pitched 2 innings. We'll get you his final line and his numbers after a couple pitches here to Nathaniel Williams. Williams, another switch hitter, only hitting from the left side of today's day. Swings and foul tips this into the glove. Gallegos on the mound for the Foresters. Akiyama over at first base. Conservative lead. Hoover holding. High and wide. Gambardella had to come out to crouch to get that one. So Waldeck's final line, 2 innings through 25 pitches. Issued a walk and gave up 3 hits. 1 earned run came across. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Nathaniel Williams. Nathaniel Williams got the day off yesterday. It was Chip Mertz who started at second. Smacks this one into right center field, going back towards the track, and we'll have to play this one off the wall as William turns and heads for his third. Scoring from first base is Akiyama as William hits it into the deepest part of the ballpark, triples alley as they usually call it. An RBI triple here for the infielder from Santa Ana College. No chance for Clark to get to that one. Going to use every single one of their final outs down to their final 2. They now trail 21-6. 9th hit of the contest, and I'm sure if you told the coaching staff that you were going to score 6 runs and get 9 hits, you would assume that you would be in that ball game. However, the Foresters able to capitalize on every single one of the Barons' mistakes, pushing across 21 runs this afternoon, 22 hits, 13 walks as a team. Lifted into the air. Clark going back towards the track, running out of room, but he does make the catch right up against the wall. Williams will tag from third base. A long sacrifice fly, out number 2.
For the Barons, number
Barons were unable to score more than 1 run yesterday. They respond with 7 now here this afternoon. They scored 6 in their opener against the San Diego Bombers. The day off tomorrow, they'll travel to Thousand Oaks to take on the Conejo Oaks Tuesday. A day off on Wednesday. 2 home games back to back. Thursday against the Foresters, Friday against the Oaks, 6:05. First pitch for both games. Saturday they'll take on the Oaks once more over there at their place, and then Sunday travel to Irvine to take on the OC Riptide. That's their upcoming schedule this week. 2-0 the count to Gavin Taylor, DH. Has only reached once, drew a walk in the 7th. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Just misses the zone. 3-0 the count, 92 on the radar gun. Four straight misses. Taylor works a walk.
The Barons in the cleanup spot number 18, Jacob Klimowski.
Barons looking to end this game on a strong note. Carry some momentum into the beginning of next week. Elliot Gallegos missing on that last pitch, but at 93, one of the higher velocities we've seen here this afternoon from many of the pitchers for both teams. Taylor has a small lead at first. First pitch to Klimowski outside. 5 straight misses by Gallegos. Gallegos just finished his senior season at UCSB. A native of Goleta, California, which is in Santa Barbara County. One ball and 1 strike. Down and away for ball 2. Two outs in the inning, runner on first. Klimowski fouls this off out of play. Two and 2 count, 2 outs. Taylor's the runner at first. Barons down to their final out. On the line, over to the second baseman. Falling to make the grab is Keithley, over to his left. And that's how this contest will end. If you tune into the whole game, we say thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the Academy Barons YouTube channel. We'll be back here at the MLB Youth Academy on Thursday and Friday, both games. First pitches are scheduled to start at 6:05 p.m. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, be sure to tune in to the live stream. We'll go live about 10 minutes before the broadcast at 5:55. For Tommy Goodin and Amari Yolas, who both joined the broadcast during today's game, and everyone who helped with the broadcast, TJ, DT, and Oliver, I'm Noah Alvarez saying thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of Academy Barons Baseball here in the California Collegiate League. We'll return again on Thursday. Until then, we'll catch you guys next time.